So let's talk about the 64-bit product line. So with v16, actually, for sure, we already shipped the 64-bit Windows product line, but it was not final. In fact, we had published the 4D Developer Edition and the 4D Volume Desktop Edition as preview, and this is the reason why we have removed them after from the installers with v16.1. This is important for tech support. So with v16R2, we had finished the job for the 64-bit product line. So one part of the job was the removal of the Altura legacy library. So as you all know, when we have moved 4D to Windows, we used an API from Altura company that is Mac2Win. And this library was avoiding us to move to some modern technologies on Windows, as for example SDI. And we have done the work now in the Windows product line to remove it. With R2, it is from the Developer Edition and the Volume Desktop. And this is making possible for us and for the engineering to move to new technologies on Windows. So this is why we have features as SDI coming with R4. In 64-bit, just as a reminder, we have what we call modern dialogues. So we have the new dialogues for the label editor, the quick report. So I will not click the links. I think you already all know them, but I invite you to check that out if you don't remind. And something new to mention is the multiple instance support. This is something really different. It was not working like that in the previous versions. So now, if you double click, if you right click on the application, you can open a second instance of the 4D Developer Edition, and you can just switch between the two windows, as you can see in the taskbar, just as any other classic Microsoft application. So before it was not working like that. I think it was just as a mimic from the Mac behavior, and we never did that on Windows. So now we are really behaving as a real Windows application. Another change in the 64-bit Windows product line, but this change is also applicable for the Mac product line, is that we moved to Blink from Google for the embedded web rendering engine. So I will just move to this item right now to explain that to you. What is the benefit and etc. Okay. So with v16R2, we had published as a preview the move to Blink for the web area. So it's only using Blink if you are clicking the checkbox in the property list for the web area, use integrated web rendering engine. If not, it is just using the system engine as Safari or IE on Windows. So Blink is bringing us with several benefits. So one of them is that it is internally running in multi-process. It is improving the HTML5 conformance. As we can see in this test, we did a test with the HTML5 support application that is giving us better scoring with Blink rather than what we have in the 32-bit with WebKit. WebKit was 352, and you can see the result here in the picture for Blink. We also have as a benefit the support for Retina displays, and also something very important is that we can guarantee the same rendering and behavior on both platforms, Mac and Windows, which is really the point of using the embedded web area. Take control of the cache manager. So let's move to another totally different feature related to the cache manager. So as you all already know, I'm pretty sure we have a pretty new cache manager that Laurent Ribadier just developed for us in v16, which is bringing us some major benefits like better performances. It's allowing scalability. There is a better handling of objects in memory. Maybe you recall that with the old cache manager, we could have some fragmentation issue when we had big objects to move in memory. This is never happening again with this new cache manager because it's really working in a different way. It's working in a very optimized way. So this is for v16. This is just a reminder. What is new with v16 R2 is that we are exposing some new commands that are just here. You can see them. So 9 new commands that are allowing our expert developers, because really you have to be careful with that. I say that for tech support especially. This is not to be used by beginners, because we have a very optimized algorithm, as I was just saying. The new cache manager is working perfectly. In some precise cases, it's a good thing to change the priority of a given table because you know that you are, I don't know, doing an import at a precise time, so you want to make that table more with a higher priority than all the others, just for this precise time. And in fact, if you do that and you don't really know what you're doing, this could lead to very bad performances. So you have to be careful with that. This is really for experts. When I'm talking about priority, this is just because the internal algorithm is based on priority on objects in memory. So by doing that, you are changing the way the algorithm handles the object in memory. So these commands are really for experts. Now let's move on to the last feature I will present you. This feature is really an enterprise feature. We're not doing so many of them. One of them in the past was like SSO, for example, SSO support. Now we have a new enterprise feature which is really useful, especially for big companies where they are using virtualized applications, so 4D applications running on virtual machines. This is a feature that is relying on volume shadow copy that is Microsoft technology. So this is applicable only on Windows 64-bit. So this is a feature restricted to that platform. In fact, what happens is that when you are running a 4D application on a virtual machine, in big companies, what they are used to do is that they are performing snapshots, just in case there is a crash, a damage on the system, so they are able to recover. In the past, what happened is that they are just performing the snapshots, and when it was performed, the database was maybe not ready. This snapshot could happen at a very bad moment, when a flush, for example, is being done. So when you were restoring the snapshot, you could just not have some data loss or have the database not really able to run anymore because the index are not in line, stuff like that. So we had to do some work to make sure that we support really this technology, so we are able to support the snapshot and prepare for it. So let me explain you more into details. So now what we do is that we have a VSS service that is included inside the 4D server for Windows 64-bit. And this service is, when the administrator is performing a snapshot, so the host application, so like VMware vSphere, as it's written here, vSphere ESXi, or it's also, we also support Microsoft Hyper-V 2016, which is pretty new. I think it was shipped in September, something like that. December, so it's pretty new. So we have supported those platforms. And with those hosts, you can perform snapshots. And when the administrator will start the snapshot, the VSS writer will just warn 4D that a snapshot is going to happen. So 4D can prepare for it and flush the data that it has to flush and be in a stable state so the snapshot can happen, and then we can continue to work. A very good benefit is that during the snapshot is happening, client can still connect and still work. There is no freeze from the client point of view. I think a video is better than a lot of words. Yeah, sorry, just before that, I wanted to add that, so we have a new item in the 4D server administration window that is showing only on Windows platform, obviously. That is allowing you to know if the volume shadow copy is up and running. I will not go into details. You've got the link to documentation in the blog post, but there are some restrictions or some limitations regarding the systems that are supported from the virtual machine systems and also on the base system. So you need to check the documentation, and this precise item is telling you if the VSS is available or not. So you know if it is supposed to run on your platform or not. So really the point is to warn the administrator if something is wrong. So let's take a look at this video. So the video is going much into details. I will try to make it quick, which is not really easy. So we just start an application. So we are here using VMware vSphere ESXi on a Windows Server machine. And so we just start the database, and we will enable a diagnostic log to see the VSS events in the 4D logs. So now in this application, which is pretty simple, we only have 3 records. We can see that everything is fine, that VSS is running, so it's supposed to work perfectly. So we go in the vSphere client console, and we will just start a new snapshot. The name of the snapshot is test. So here you can see that the snapshot is just being performed. During that time, as I said already, the clients can still work. There is no freeze. So here we are going to just take a look at the logs. It's going to stop. Yeah. Here you can see the receive message unidentified, unprepared snapshot. So this is sent by VMware vSphere. Yeah, it is saying to 4D, hey, you have to prepare because a snapshot is going to happen. And then you have the flush and lock of the whole internal database inside 4D. 4D label, preferences, runtime. These are the .4D base that are inside 4D. So just basically 4D is preparing for the snapshot and just flushing everything to make sure that it is stable before the snapshot happens. So here we can also see some events, but not on the 4D side, but also in the Windows event viewer. So you see VSS 4D server. So this is basically the same kind of events that are sent and logged in our log. So now we are just going to act as if we were just continue working. So we are adding new records in the database. And so let's say that here a crash happened, something really bad happened, and we need to restore the snapshot to the previous version. So we just revert to a given snapshot. It's completed. We restart. We start again the application and the server. And we are back to 3 records. So this is just to show you we are back to where we were just before. Okay, so I will just let the next speaker come, which is Roland, to talk to you about quick reports.
Hello everybody. So I'm going to talk about a quick report that you already know. The new thing is all kind of quick reports are now available in 64-bit version of 40. There are two kinds of quick reports, the regular reports and the cross-table records. So as you may know, the interface has been completely redesigned in 64-bit, but until now, the cross-table reports were not available in 64-bit, which is not the case now. Both are available in 64-bit. So we have here a blog talking about this, and there is a small video to show this new feature. It's not really new. It says it's available in 64-bit with a new design, as we had already done for the regular reports. So here is a little video just to demonstrate this. So we have two tables, and we want to make to create a cross-table report with those two tables, with fruit on one table and sales in the other one. So we just have to select the cross-table kind of report. Just drag and drop as you used to do in 34-bit with a new interface again. It's brand new and it's way more clean. You can pick up some colors, make it nice. It's really easy to customize. And here you have your cross-table report in 64-bit too. So it's not really new, it's just available in 64-bit now as it was in 32 bits. So that's quite simple for this. Nothing much to say about this feature, but it works fine in 64-bit now. So if people really needed to have this, it's not a reason not to use the 64-bit now. There is something also now we're going to talk about for the Write Pro. In 40 Write Pro, there was no ruler. It seems obvious that word processing engine had to have a ruler. Unfortunately, there was not in 40, so now there is one. So there is a new property in the property list for the Write Pro area, which is horizontal ruler. So you can have it or not. Of course, it can be set or unset by programming as well. And this ruler allows you to do what you used to do with a ruler in a regular word processing machine. So you can set the right and left margin for your document, for your paragraphs. You can add, move tabs, change the type of types, etc., etc. So again, we're just going to watch a little video that demonstrates this feature. So you can modify the margins of your full document. When paragraphs are selected, you can modify the margins of these paragraphs and also the indentation. And you can also add tabulation just by simply clicking. It's very intuitive. Just click, it adds tabs. And when you right-click on these tabs, you can change the behavior of the tabs. For instance, for numbers, you can use a decimal separator as a tab. This is very easy to use, and the final user will really like this feature. What do I have now? Okay, now we're going to talk about the list box. As you know, the list box is a very important object in 40. And we had a request from our customer which is the ability to customize the highlight color on the list box. As you know, when you click on the list box whose rows are selectable, usually you have the color provided by the system. It's blue on Mac and it's another kind of blue on Windows. But this is not what we want, because when you have some background colors in the list box, once they are selected, they are all blue. So you cannot see the background color anymore, which is very annoying in certain situations. You have a nice interface. When it's selected, the nice interface is gone. It's blue, all blue. So what we want is something like this. You see, we have the first column, which has a background color, depending on the category. And when it's selected, we still want to see the color in another shade of this color, but the same color. So that was the request. How can we do that? So we have thought about many things. Like, as you know, we have arrays to define the background color, the foreground color, and the style, either of the list box or of each column. So the first idea we had is say, oh, rather than having one array to define this, just make it double. We have one for when it's selected and the other one when it's not. But it was quite complicated because we have arrays for the list box, we have arrays for each columns, and when the list box are not based on arrays but on selections, we have to call some methods in KDE, in 4D, that will return the background color as value. It was quite complicated. So we have decided to make it as simple as possible. So the decision we took is, okay, we don't like the blue, so let's don't draw anything when the selections are changed. The highlight made by the system, which is obvious, it's blue, we won't see it anymore. The selection will still be available, so when you click, the rows will be selected, but they won't be blue. You will not see, 4D will not draw anything for you. You will have, by programming, to do something. And this is very easy, just few lines of code, and it works very easily. So let's see an example. I have already downloaded a database to show this. So this is manage highlights. So here it is. How do I manage colors on list boxes? So the first thing is you have a new property in the property list, which is hide system highlight. So again, the goal of this feature is only to hide the highlight. The selections are still visible. When you click or when you use arrows down, up or down, the selection will change. If you use shift click or control click, the selection will also change. The only thing, there will nothing visible in the interface if you do nothing. So how can we make this visible? So let's focus on, for instance, the arrays-based list box. As you know, in list box you can define background colors, and the list box itself is a Boolean array, which allows you to know which row is selected in this list box. And you have also a list box, for instance here, list box font color and list box background, which are arrays of colors that you can fill yourself to define the background color of the row. So when you click somewhere on the list box, you just have to browse the list box itself, the array of Boolean, and when it's true, you just have to fill the arrays that where the background color, the style, and the font colors are defined. Here I changed the 3 arrays at once. As you can see, when a line is selected, it's not now, the font color is white, the style is bold and italic, and the background is a kind of blue, but it's not the system blue. So if I shift click, for instance, I can make a multi-selection, and for each time each time I have a value true in my array, I change the value of the array. Otherwise, I just use the inherited value of the list box. So that's the principle, and so you can have now very nice interface like this one. So I have the first column here, which has two colors, one color for the background, and as you can see, also a color for the text, which is brown on light brown, blue on light blue, etc. And when it's selected, the color is inverted. I have still some blue here. That's wrong. Okay, I saw something blinking on this side. And you can even do some more colors. For instance, you can take in account if the list box has the focus or not. Let's make a selection here. If I click somewhere else, as you can see, I still have the color, but they are more light. So you can do everything what you want, but you have to do it by programming. But it's only a few lines of code. It's very easy to program, and this How Do I will help you. Last thing I can show you, it also works with hierarchical list boxes. It's exactly the same code. It's only this list box has been turned into a hierarchical one, but it works exactly the same way. And also, if the list box loses the focus, for instance, I will click in this little area here at the bottom. See, it's very nice and very user friendly when you can change the color of the background when the list box has the focus or not. So we have exactly the same demo for selection demo, which are based on records, and array demo, which are based on arrays. You cannot see any difference between them, but the code is slightly different. But it's very easy, and this How Do I is here to help you to make this kind of interface. So let's quit. And I think I have something else to say. Still my turn. Am I? Yeah. 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 Sorry. Here it is. Okay. Still about list boxes. There are a lot of things that you could do using the property list in design mode, but that were not available to modify by programming. So this is what we are used to call the getters and setters. There are a lot of properties that you couldn't read or write by programming, and now you can do it. So there is a very huge bunch of properties that can be set up by programming. I click on the wrong lane, I think. Let's do that. Programming facilities. Yes. So I will not get into details on every property because I think there is like 20 or 25 properties that can be set or read by programming, but I have a little database again. Let me show you this. It's How Do I. So it's about all the new properties that can now be set by programming. So there is the demo. So on the left side of this dialog, you can have all the properties at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I let you content, but I think there is at least 25 new properties that can be set or get by programming. For instance, what happens when you double-click on a row? Do nothing. Okay, do nothing. When I double-click, nothing happens, except I can. But there is no something special. I can edit record when I double-click. So this time, when I double-click, bing, I write in input mode. And I can also display record. So I double-click. It's still display in detail, but I cannot save that. It's only in read mode. For instance, what can I do? Sortable. Here, the list box, if I say do not allow sorting, I can click on the headers, nothing happens. And I say, okay, now I can, it looks for, and I can do it. So you have the full control now with all these properties on the list boxes with by programming. So again, there is a lot of, for the highlight set, let's go back to the system. That's what I showed before. You can also make it by programming. System highlight. When I show system highlight, I can make a selection here. If I hide the system highlight, selection is still here, but it's not visible anymore. I show it, I hide it back. So see, just hide, show. Selection is still present, but it's not designed by the system. You have to do it by yourself. So you can switch from a node to another one using these properties. So I think that's it for me for now. I'll be back in a few minutes, but now I give the microphone to the next person, which is Fabrice. I think, yes, Fabrice. Welcome, Fabrice. Okay. Let's talk about the improvement of final design dialog. Final design dialog has been upgraded to offer a more user-friendly design, as you can see in the image, and two new features. First is a stop button. It's the little cross button here, which allows you to instantly terminate your search before the end. Next feature is a new filter option. It's this item here. Remove all items from list except selection, which allows you to remove unselected items in your search. So let's watch a short video on this feature. So you start a search. So now you can stop the search before the end. If you can select here the item you want to keep, and use this item to remove all other items in your list. Okay, the next picture. Okay, the next feature is yes, new information are available in MSC dialog. The MSC has been improved to make database maintenance easier. There is a new link here to access the log file path. This link is similar to the data file link and the structure file link. And we make it easy and quick to access to your log files. In table types, we have new global information and data. So the first is the address table size here. The address table is an internal table which allows you to no, which links the records to their physical addresses on the disk. You can now easily check if the difference between the size of your address table is a lot of very different of the number of records in your table. If this difference is large, it's recommended to complete your address table. Secondly, we added a new row here. It's just total row, which allows you to verify, for example, after repair, if you have always all your number of records, for example. Finally, these information are now available in maintenance mode as well as interpreted or compiled modes. Next feature is the new command. It's the timestamp command. This command allows you to retrieve dates and times in a UTC timestamp format, including milliseconds. For example, you can use this command to create a log file and know precisely when events occurs. This data here. This data returned the data returned by this command is expressed according to the ISO 8601 standard. So I'll let Vanessa introduce it.
Hi. Now we talk two features on the database, on the object field in database. So first, let's connect. Okay. The object field is introduced in 4D-v16. You can make a search on the object field with query by attribute, and you can search in an array of objects. With an example. When we search in an array with a query attribute, for example, I ask the people with time set to home and city to Paris. The query returns Martha, home and city, and returns Smith because you are home and Paris. If you have at least one element in your array, if one argument matching to an element,
the attribute is returned. Now, in v16R2, if you want the information are in the same element, it's possible. How? This is before. For example, kind home, city, Paris. Now I want the argument are in the same element. I just add a letter. Then, in this case, these two lines are the same letter. Then I want the argument are in the same array items element. I can combinate multi-filter. For example, if I duplicate these two lines and say the kind office and city client and the letter B. In this case, I want a people with home is set to Paris and office is set to Lyon. The people. You have just add a letter, one letter. You have 26 combination. I think it's sufficient to enough. Thanks. Okay. It's the same with query by attribute and query selection by attribute. Next. Now it's possible to order your selection by an attribute. Is the same with all the order by command. I just the table, next the field, in this case is the object field, the attribute, ascending or descending, and another filter, I want to also order by last name in object info. I see here age, I think is descending, and next last name ascending. Is important with selection. You want to order by field, Boolean field, text field, and you combine order by and order by attribute. Now it's Benoit. Benoit to talk for the forum.
Hello everyone. So before moving forward to the v16 R3 features, I will present you the forum SSO authentication that is coming soon. Soon, before the end of the month. Just need to find. Okay, so let's start with a set of slides, and I will show you a short video just after. Yes. Okay, so as you know, today with Tao and LiveDoc or Store, you are able to connect with your 4D account, which is SSO. And on the forum, you cannot connect with your 4D account. So the good news that it is coming soon. You will be able to connect with your 4D account. So when you will log on when you will go to the forum website, you will see firstly a banner saying that 40 Forum is now integrating the SSO authentication. So we strongly encourage existing forum users to migrate, to start to migrate their account by using the sign-in link just here. So we'll see the migration page just after. The previous authentication model will be deprecated starting on September 15th. So when you will sign in for the first time with your 4D account on the forum website, you will see migration page, and you will have option 1. If you are a new user, then you will click on continue, and it will create a new user. It will be the same process as previously. And if you are an existing user, to just fill in this box here and start to migrate your account. So when you will migrate, after the migration, you will see on your edit profile the following. Here, there is a new field with your 4D account link. And you can see as well my notification email address. In this example, it's my account, so it's a Gmail address. Okay, for the account. So once the migration has been done, when you will log with a partner contract, you will be able to see your 4D your partner's forums. Oops. So hotfix, night builds, and beta version. And the other thing that is that the banner that we display on the forum website will encouraging you to migrate will disappear because your account will be already migrated. Okay, so let's watch a video to see how it looks like on pre-production. Okay. So I will log in with my 4D account using the sign-in link. Okay. And here there is a migration page. So as I already have a 4D account, a 44 account, sorry, I fill in my forum account and I click on migrating account, and it's done. It's very simple. And when you click on my profile, you will see what I have shown you before. Okay, the forum notification email address and for the account. Now we should log in with a silver account, for example. Silver account. So you will see your forum partner forums enabled. So I log in with my silver account. I go to the forum. No, my profile. My profile. Oh, okay. So I'm going to my profile, seeing that I'm a silver partner, and after I'm going to the forums, and I see that I have access to all the partners' forums. So this is coming very soon. Next week, I think, to be more accurate. Do you have time for question? No question or at the end? So next, I don't know who is the next speaker. Okay, Vanessa. Okay.
In 4D if you want to create an interface, or if you want to use 4D Write Pro interface widget, we need to write several lines of code. We need to know, to understand many commands in the new 4D Write Pro. Thus, we thought to facilitate for you to create a new interface. So we have improved standard action, and we have added a new standard action for 4D Write Pro. In first, I remember you the all possibility to the standard action. Standard action is available since I don't know, but very, very long. And we have also explained you the new possibility. Just to remember, it's possible to associate standard action by design with this property, standard action, in this case associated delete record. You can do the same by programming, objected action, example in the bottom, and I use the constant. You can use also the value of the constant, and in this case, I use a value with a value. In this case, I set the font color to the magenta color. You can use also the standard action in the menu. This is a dialog in toolbar dialog in the menu. If you can enter an item and associated a standard action. This is the result. And with 4D Write Pro, your standard action then to allow to display a submenu. In this case, I add the item style, and I obtain bold, italic, underline, strike through. I don't need to write sub item bold and associated the standard action bold. You can do this if you want only bold and italic in your item. Thus you create style, associated a sub item bold, italic, and associated the action bold and italic. And in this case, you have only bold and italic and the submenu. By programming, you can do the same with the command create menu, add a mailing item, set mailing item property with already existing command. The new interest is this, ACAS standard action title. In this case, I associated the standard action first record. Here, I can write menu, and next, the name of my item. I can write first record. In this case, no, I write the constant, the new constant ACAS standard action. What is in interest to this constant is this. If I execute my 4D in English record, we write first record. In German, we write I don't try to read this. Thank you, Ron. And in French 4D, we write premier enregistrement. It's very simple. You have a localization of your application. And the last is a new command in v16 R4, invoke action. It's just to execute your action in a method, in a button, like you want. The action, you have this example here. I pass the action, constant value, okay, and the context, in this case, attack uniform. The other is get action info. It's very interesting. This command verifies the validity of your standard action in the context. To give this example, I execute get action info for past, and if this action is impossible, the keyboard is empty. It's very interesting. Okay. You can read again this blog post. You have very many links for the documentation to help you to use again this all possibility. Next. In this blog post, you have an example to a menu created with a standard action, an example of toolbar created with standard action again. This is the value used in the property list. Insert image, insert bar break, insert section break, merge, split. And here is an example. I replace the default contextual menu is very, very, very long. In this case, I just want to modify the style. I just rewrite a new contextual menu with cut, copy, paste, and style. And here is the not exhaustive list of standard actions available with ForDirector. You can find the complete list on the documentation. And this I already explained you, invoke action and get action info. Okay. In this blog post, I explain in detail how to create a contextual menu with example to explain in the form. You just write dynamic pop-up menu to display the contextual menu, and in the form method and onload, I create my menu. Don't forget to release the menu on the onload form if you don't want a memory leak. And you are an example to add a menu item, to add an automatic submenu, to customize the submenu. This is the same as a very long blog post I showed you in first, but you have the detail explained with step by step, and we are a database. I don't show you this database, but you can watch this after if you want. And the last, with the styled text, many action is the same with ForDirector. If you want bold, italic, font styles. We have added several standard actions for styled text. We have the list show gallery, for color, visible response, compute expression, phase expression. And for example, you can create a mosaic of color set, as an example, with this set in property list color, the check mark value equal white. With this whole new standard action, with this new command, you can do a new interface. Very, very simple to create an interface with for the writer of styled text. And it's well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hi again. Now I'm going to tell you about a feature which is for macOS only. If you're a Mac user, I think you know the tabs in the Windows. So what I'm talking about is this kind of tabs that are more and more used in applications like browsers, of course, but also numbers, pages, all the applications of Apple, and more other applications. What I'm talking about is this system preference, which is a little bit hidden in the dock options here, which is the preferred tabs when opening documents. So you have three choices, always, only in full screen mode or manually. So this will determine the behavior of opening new windows in your system. So we have decided to implement this opportunity in 4D as well. And we have a new property in the settings of the preferences of the database. No, not of the database, and the environment development for a user. So this kind of windows can now be managed in the design mode of 4D. It's not for the end user, it's only for the developer for now. Maybe we will extend it to the end users too later, but today it's only in the design mode. So it's quite simple. We have a new preference in 4D, and I'll show it you in a little video. Yeah. So it's just like in the system. So this is based on macOS Sierra only, and after starting with Sierra, you can have this option. Wait. So we have this equivalent in 4D. There is only one thing to say. It's the equivalent in 4D, and it may be based on the system preference, but it can also be forced. If you have set it to always in the system, you can even say never in 4D. In the other hand, if it's never in the system, you can have always in 4D. So you have the choice to decide how your application behave in the design mode. So when you do this, it's very, very useful when you have a single screen, like on laptops, for instance. When you open a new method, you can see there is no a new window open, but just a new tab, which is opened in the same window. So there is no wasted room. But as in the other application, you can drag and drop tabs if you want to have them in separate windows, or you can even drag one tab from a window to another one. And when you're done, if you want all your windows to go back together, you just have to merge all windows, and all the windows will be merged into a single one. When I say all the windows, it's of course when it makes sense. The Explorer, for instance, will always be separated from the other windows. So this is, I think, a very useful command for programmers that work on the laptops, or even sometimes on laptops when you take the train or whatever. But this is very simple, very easy to use. Okay, I think I'm done. So Paris again. So Thank you for your attention. See you. I'm speaking to you on a new command, new object. So new command creates either an empty object or an object with initial value and properties. It allows you to, for example, reinitialize a temporary object in root, or simply directly pass an object as a parameter in a 4G comments. You can see here two examples. The first is just show you how to create an empty object. You have here the old version of this code. You needed to use JSON parse, which is not abused. Now you can just use a new object. It's a simple native command. Simple. The next example show you how to create an object with some value and pass it directly as parameter to a 4G command. You have the old version here. You needed to create your C object, fill it with obset command, and finally paste it in parameter to your 4G command. Now you can do it in one line here. You create your object with a new object command and pass it directly in parameter to your 4G command. It's possible because new object returns a reference and it provides more flexibility in your code. Sorry. Okay, and the last feature is the export results of fine design dialog. Okay, you can now export your export search results in a text file. The information in this file is exported in a tab separated value. It allows you to open this file in a text editor or a spreadsheet as Excel, for example. Let's watch a short video on this feature. So you start search. You use export results item. Okay, you specify your file name and it's okay. So now you can open your new result file. Here we open it in Excel. So here you can see your file. here you have your stage filter, and you have 5 columns. Okay, with the type is the first, the path, the name, the content, and here the line number and the page number. So if you use Excel, you can after use the Excel feature as a search, sort, filter. Okay, that's all for me. And I think, okay, finish. Yeah.